When we first picked up our Silver Bullet 2.0, we couldn't leave it stock. We were heading up to Mustang Week and we had to do something to it. We installed our GT500-Style spoiler, and ever since then, we've been getting non-stop questions on how to install this and when are we coming out with the kit. Today I'm here to tell you, we have the kit. In this video, we're gonna show you how to install this GT500-Style wing on your 2024 and up S650. Here are the tools required. Starting in the trunk, we need to remove the two rubber stops. Then 9 plastic fasteners hold this panel in place. Use a flathead or trim tool to release the plastic surround on the trunk latch. If you pry right around this spot on the plastic housing, the surround will pop free easily. Feed the emergency release through and the panel can be removed. There are rubber plugs on each side of the trunk, hiding a bolt beneath it. Carefully loosen this bolt. We recommend tilting the trunk down to help you remove it so the bolt does not fall into the trunk itself. And repeat on the other side. Use some masking tape in order to protect the paint around the edges of the spoiler. Take note of the location of the studs and the clips on the bottom of the spoilers. You can see on the ends the 2 bolts that were removed. As you work the fishing line underneath the spoiler, cutting the adhesive, you will have to work around these studs and these clips. Fishing line can be used to cut through the factory adhesive. Be sure to pry up on the fishing line as you're cutting. Some plastic wedges and soapy water makes this process a whole lot faster. Once you've got a big enough gap, the plastic wedge or a plastic razor can be used to cut the adhesive. Carefully work your way across the whole spoiler and it will come loose. Remove all the masking tape. Carefully remove the adhesive. If using adhesive remover, ensure that it is safe to use on the surface prior to usage. Then clean off the surface with some rubbing alcohol. Back in the trunk, there are 4 nuts that need to be removed. If you have a magnetic socket, it would be very useful here. If not, just take your time. There are 2 smaller bolts on either side that can be removed. Lastly, a nut located in the center of the trunk. Close the trunk and carefully pry the spoiler module straight back away from the trunk. You can release one side at a time, then work on the center section. Once removed, the backup camera wiring must be disconnected. Unclip the harness from the panel and disconnect it. There are a series of T15 screws securing both the camera module and this plastic surround. Carefully remove the backup camera and set it aside. Gently pry the spoiler module outwards to unclip it from the plastic insert. We'll install the included studs into these threads as shown. The outer 2 studs will have to temporarily be installed for drilling and later be removed for installation. place a piece of tape on top of the hole on either side. As well as the holes on the spoiler module. Reinstall the trunk extension back onto the trunk so the spoiler can be mocked up. Use a paint pen or nail polish on the center studs to mark the locations on the tape. Carefully align the front of the spoiler with the panel gap between the deck lid and the trunk extension. When you're happy with the placement, press down to apply the paint to the tape. As you can see, the marks are just on the inside of the factory holes. Once the pilot holes are made, you can step up to a larger drill bit. Continue test fitting and making small adjustments to get proper fitment. The spoiler won't fully seat yet due to the outside studs being installed. Now those outside studs can be marked, and use the center studs to guide the outside studs into place. Press to make the mark. Drill the pilot hole on either side. Again, step up to the larger drill bit. And now the spoiler can be fit up to make sure everything is aligned correctly. For the foremost inner studs, apply red Loctite. Clean the mounting surface of the spoiler and the trunk extension off with some rubbing alcohol. Grab the included double-sided foam pads and secure them to the spoiler. Press the foam into place so the adhesive adheres to the spoiler. Repeat for all three mounting points. Now the paper backing can be removed. Now use the studs to align the trunk extension to the spoiler. Now install the included nuts onto the two center studs, as well as the outer studs. Tighten these down as the plastic shroud will be reinstalled. Get the plastic shroud secured into place. The backup camera can now be reinstalled. It can only be installed in one way, so do not worry about it being upside down. Get the camera bracket screwed into place. The remaining T15 screws need to be reinstalled. Bring the assembly back to the vehicle and reconnect the backup camera. Make sure the excess harness is clipped back into place. Align the spoiler module with the deck lid and press it back into place. Reinstall the center nut, as well as the 4 others. The 4 bolts on the outside can be installed. We highly recommend using a hole saw to enlarge the opening to get a socket in. This will make the install much easier. Use an Allen key to install the stud. Carefully install the nut onto the stud. Then tighten down the nut. You can see here why we recommend enlarging the opening. Once that's completed on both sides, reinstall the trunk panel. The latch surround can be reinstalled. Then the push pins and the rubber stops. Then the rubber grommets for the outside studs. After that, your installation is complete. So as you can see, this spoiler install requires this adapter kit and will require some modification to adapt this 2015 through 2023 spoiler to your S650. We recommend installation be completed by a technician for most people, but if you have a lot of experience installing aftermarket accessories and exterior body parts, this may be an upgrade that you can complete at home. Now this is our flagship drag car, the Silver Bullet 2.0, so we're not running the gurney bill on this vehicle. Now if you're wanting to run the gurney flap and get some additional downforce, it easily attaches with 4 bolts right here on the bottom. Now one thing we highly recommend for most installations is going to be picking up a hole saw to cut out the holes in the bottom of the deck lid to give you more access to the bolt or the stud that's behind there. Now this is an installation where cut once, measure twice is key. You're going to want to make sure that the body line lines up with the front of the spoiler so you get a nice clean installation that fits right and looks great. Now this 2024 spoiler adapter kit is available with the spoiler or on its own if you have a 2015 through 2023 GT500 style spoiler. Comment down below, let us know how you think the GT500 style spoiler looks on the S650 platform. If you liked the video, consider subscribing, and don't forget the most important thing, speed matters.